YouTube, what the crap's going on? How are y'all doing tonight? Nikki, Ghost King, good to see you. Flaming Heron, Thane the Forsaken, Prince Lev Mishkin, Senshi. Hope y'all are doing good. Thanks for joining tonight. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm gonna switch over to the main screen real quick, and we'll wait just a couple minutes to get started. We're gonna have some more folks joining in here shortly, I think. So, yeah, welcome to the stream tonight. Appreciate you joining. We're going to start things off. We're going to watch the patch 1.3 video. I already saw a comment from Flaming Heron talking about the missile mayhem that they've introduced. Yeah, I was just watching Indie Pride's video of it over on Milk and Cookies Total War. Wow. Yeah, it's looking like a mess. We'll demonstrate it to show people what we're talking about here shortly. I don't know why they would have done such a thing. I can't imagine a single person in the multiplayer community who was asking for it or that would have told them to do it. So I don't know if it was maybe just like a mistake that they did. I haven't watched their video, haven't seen their video at all. So if they talk about it in the video like they're proud of it, then I'm going to be a little bit shocked. If it was just a mistake of some sort, then, you know, all right, that kind of makes sense. But I don't know why they would have made such a change, because it's never really been the case ever in a Total War. Like, even back to Rome 1, when you have archers sitting on top of each other, they don't fire as effectively. Or, you know, when they're sitting in with another unit, like something that's something as old as Total War itself. So a weird thing to try and change, and a strange one. It'd be funny if you were just trolling the AI with it, but it's not good outside of like any other scenario there. So, Pilgrim, welcome. Lazard Lord, welcome. Hey, Nikki, is the gambling thing broken again? I turned on the bot. The bot's supposed to be turned on, so I have to keep trying and see if it kicks on. I'm looking at it right now. It says it's on. I'll turn it on and off again. There. It says it's on. And then it's, let's see, modules. Yeah, I mean, it should be working. We'll see. Y'all can start checking the salt and doing some gambling. Let's watch the video together real quick. I have not watched the video at all. Hopefully this doesn't get me like a copyright claim from CA or something, but let's check it out together.
Total War Warhammer 3, patch 1.3. Let's get into the biggest changes we've made from your feedback. As with our previous patch, the Regiments of Renown are making their way into the game.
All right,
this time we'll see Sky Striders.
Hold on, what was that one? Sky Striders. So that was an ogre unit. So Crushers with great weapons.
This time we'll see Sky Striders, the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin.
Alright, so a Long Rider.
Oathbreakers of Tor.
Ooh, Warbear Riders. Good.
Barons of the Bog.
Barons of the Bog. So that's a Pox Rider, I believe.
Knights of Immobilation.
Oh man, a Doom Knight ROR. That's going to be nice.
Eternal Entourage.
Alright, yep. Heart Seekers probably, or Seekers, one of the two. So that's going to be a fun unit.
And Heralds of Khorne's Fury.
And this looks like some kind of Crusher unit, right? Whatever they call it.
All 3LC, of course. In multiplayer, land battles have been introduced to ranked matchmaking, giving you a 50-50 chance of landing either a domination or land battle game. In battle,
now,
a number of changes
hold on a minute. Giving you a 50-50 chance of either landing a land battle or a domination game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool that they added land battle to the ranked matchmaking. It should be. It ought to be like they had this back in Shogun 2, where you could select, you know, like whether you wanted to play Fall of the Samurai or both or mixed matches. This ought to be a checkbox selection, right? Where you can pick one or the other. And if people think maybe that's not fair because then my ranking's all based off land battle, then separate the two and have a leaderboard for land battles. Again, they did this in Total War Shogun 2. There were separate leaderboards. So have a leaderboard for land battles, have a leaderboard for domination. I think they should have the choice to pick. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they added it, but I think it should have been a little different.
Land battle game. In battle, a number of changes have been made to help with the unit responsiveness and pathfinding, including how units navigate settlement entrances and react to retreat orders. Ranged units firing with a...
Now, so they didn't say anything about this here, so I'll have to read the patch notes, but what I was experiencing is that if you tried to run all your units through the gate and there was towers around, all of them except for one unit would start trying to cram themselves in the towers. they need to not go through the towers unless you tell them to. That's my opinion, right? They should just all go through the gate unless I specifically pull units off and tell them to go up ladders and towers. That's my opinion. You all tell me what you think about that.
Back to retreat orders. Ranged units firing with a clear line of sight, Iron Gut successfully hitting melee infantry, and improved dueling between single entity units. Smaller artillery and chariot units no longer have collision when dead to help alleviate issues with large entities pathfinding. And Miao Ying's Dragon Augments will be fully available, allowing her to access her Eye of the Storm ability when in dragon form as intended.
Okay.
AI armies will focus much less on backline units, encouraging more meaningful tactics on the battlefield and reducing likelihood of them marching straight past city defences.
Okay.
The AI will also no longer be able to use army abilities in situations where they shouldn't be able to, for example after a battle has ended or before they have accumulated enough resources.
Well, if they were cheating, then yes, that's a nice change. I didn't know they were cheating there, but it doesn't really surprise me. I guess I've just gotten so used to the AI cheating that that's pretty much what happens. For me, what I'm hoping there is that the AI doesn't just come in, engage your front line, and pull through, immediately trying to kill all your skirmishers. That's what they do currently. They just full-on YOLO for skirmishers or stuff in the back line, and they do so at the detriment of their entire army way too often. Another AI behavior that they haven't specifically mentioned here that needs to be changed is the way that the AI works in defense of minor settlements or even major settlements. They will put units up to guard all the entrances, which is good, but as you start to shoot one up, they'll just pull it back and put another unit there and then let you shoot it up and then pull it back and put another one and let you shoot it up, rather than making the obvious decision at some point to either pull everything back or to go all in and attack, right? It needs to be able to make one of those decisions or the others. So I don't know if they're going to address that or not. Let's keep watching.
Campaign, we've refreshed some of the buildings and building chain descriptions, updated technologies across various races, and further streamlined the character list. Kurgan Warband Army's spawn rate has been slowed to decrease their intensity during Cathay campaigns,
Alright.
and a number of character skills have been updated, and improved traits will also be dished out upon defeating any of the legendary lords.
Well, that's good, the improved traits. See, the traits are fun. It's like Pokemoning, right? You're out collecting all the traits, so this is good that they're improving the traits. Never hurts to get some fun stuff off of lords, stuff that's meaningful and fun. A reward for beating, a big powerful enemy is always a nice thing to have in a game. So yeah, I don't know if the Kurgan warbands didn't bother me too much. And again, I haven't played a ton of Cathay campaign. I think I've beaten one campaign and played part of a couple more. I hadn't really noticed a huge issue with it, but maybe it was a big deal. I don't know. I'm not too torn over that one way or the other. Let's keep going.
Plagues have received an update.
Okay.
For Nurgle, we can see a replacement of the attrition effect on the Flux system with an increase in casualties from attrition, and reduced base duration of the Agu Plague from 3 to 2. For the Demon Prince Plagues, we removed the attrition effect from Bow Steep, and increased the...
Oh, thank goodness. Gosh, dang, it's about time. Bow Steep doesn't cause attrition anymore. This one was constantly hitting you with attrition. Now, I'm still going to turn off all attrition from Plagues because I hate it. But for the people who really want to have to put up with this and punish themselves, at least you don't get the attrition from Bow Steep anymore. So thank goodness.
Nurgle corruption provided, and we replaced the attrition effect from the Red Agu with an increase in casualties from attrition. We've increased the rewards given by Ogre Kingdom's contracts. All 3 missions will now have the bonus reward,
Okay, this is good, because honestly, every time I had seen the contracts, they looked really crappy. So, I mean, increase here would be a good idea, in my opinion.
Grow from camps or a rare magical item, and treasury rewards will be roughly twice the amount. The minimum reward has been increased from 500 to 1,500, with the amount determined by the issuing faction's treasury.
Alright.
When AI has collected all 4 souls and teleports to the Forge of Souls, the player will now be asked if they want to teleport immediately to meet them.
See, this is another thing that it should have released this way, because that's the way it worked in Mortal Empires. Okay, they were busy making a huge game with a bunch of changes. They missed it, right? Okay, fine. Look past it. Give them credit. This should have been out there in like week 2 after people complained. I'm glad they're putting it in now. Credit to them. Thank you for putting it in now. It's a good thing. But this is the kind of stuff where they could have lost a lot less face with their fans. They would have gotten stuff like this in sooner. Very much sooner. However, good to see it. Better late than never. This is an excellent change, and I welcome it.
This will only be available if the player's faction leader is in a state where they can teleport. Speaking of the Chaos Realms, we've made some tweaks to them. In the Siege Realm, AP won't be removed when the player interacts with a point of interest.
That's good.
Sigils will now be revealed when the player enters and exits a teleport locus.
Good.
And the AI now has to teleport 8 times before accessing the final area.
That seems arbitrary, but at least the AI won't be able to just skip right through it and beat you quickly with it.
In the final battle, we've tweaked the units that flow in from the base of the map to be less frustrating. We've also updated the last wave to only count Be'lakor for completion. Once he is killed, the rest of the demons will crumble, and the battle will be complete.
Okay, that's good.
We've also toned down the number of soul grinders that accompany Be'lakor in the final wave.
Oh, dang. There was a ton of soul grinders, like a crap ton. Now, I'm usually playing a missile faction of some sort, so they weren't too bad to deal with because I could just mow them down relatively quickly. But if you were in like an all melee thing, then yeah, that could have ended up being an insane grind against all those soul grinders.
Other bug fixes have been made for Arcane Surge, flying units leaving melee combat, multiplayer game lists, and more. For a full list of all the changes in
that's the changes coming with patch 1.3. They didn't say anything here. It says for a full list, let's check out the website. Okay, let me see if that's down here in the blog. Let's go to the blog real quick. I want to go ahead and get this out of the way, and then we'll start playing some battles, but let's check all the news while we're here. I have to eat the cookies. All right. Regiments of Renown, discuss on Steam. Where's the release spotlight? Okay, so Regiments of Renown 2. So let's check out these regiments. Well, we'll look at the Regiments of Renown in the game. So no need to cover this here. We'll go check them out in the game. Land battles, join ranked matchmaking. That's good. And then they've got this map pool. So got it. Stability and performance graphics. I'll look at that stuff more later. Let's head down here. Quite a few changes that they did not talk about. Grand Cathay, Crane Gunner, bullet penetration from 2 to 1. So they've reduced the penetration on. So Crane Gunner is effectively taking a bit of a nerf, and their cost reduced back to 1,000. So they'd gone from 900 to 1,200 back to 1,000. Fire Rain rockets got an increased range and a reduced cost. Dang. Fire Rain rockets I thought were already pretty strong as it is. Dang, they're gonna be real strong. I don't know. Maybe they weren't that good. I don't use them in multiplayer, so I don't really know. Let's keep looking through here. Korn, Kislev. Oh my gosh, let's see if they screwed up my sleds anymore. Ice Guard, both variants are now granted 15% spell resistance. They got an armor increase to 50. That's really cool. They got a cost reduction, too, in multiplayer for the glaives. Winged Lancers got an increased charge bonus, so that's a nice buff there. And they got granted Chilling Aura, passive ability, increased fire resistance, Cassars with great weapons. That's kind of nice to see a small, even though it's small, that's a nice buff. And to the armored Cassars with great weapons, they were not quite as good as they should be, in my opinion. So that's good to see. Let's see. Nurgle, I don't really care about. Ogre Kingdoms, not yet. Slaanesh, I'm not super interested in them. I'm going to keep scrolling down through here. I want to see where they talked about the ranged units. Settlement multiplayer, HUD color options, settlement battle fatigue. Where did they talk about the range stuff? We control F this. Oh, hold on. Go back. Previous one. All right. Where's that at? I just found it. Dev note. As a ranged focus faction, this is a critical element. Hold the line in infantry combat as a ranged. Okay. Generally, content performance ranges other than this. We're rolling back the projectile penetration strength of Crane Gunners. Hold on. So when it comes to their ability to hold the line, which is why we're making Harmony more potent for melee units by adding melee attack stats to Yang and adding less impactful benefit of speed to Yin. Really content with the performance of rain units other than this. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. In order to attack groups, we'll move to a valid position where the ranged units can fire. Okay, let's keep looking. Prevent instances where ranged units hold their fire because a friendly unit is in their line of fire. Overlapping units are now considered by game as part of the same unit. Should ensure that ranged units can more consistently carrying it. Okay, yeah, so this was intentional. Yeah, this was an intentional change. Wow. Okay, well, let's go check it out. And I was, I guess, kind of hoping in the back of my head that that was an accidental change that they did, but it's intentional. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Alaskan Ambush was the change to the gun units. I just seen Indie Pride's video from it over on Milk and Cookies Total War, and it was pretty incredulous, and I was hoping that maybe that was a mistake they made, but no, it was an intentional change. I'm starting up the game right now, so you'll hold tight, and we'll go take a look at it. Dang, so that's unfortunate. Water. All right. Well, Cafe is probably the best one to demonstrate this. Just grab a Lord Magistrate. Well, actually, we'll grab Miao Ying because she got some improvements, and let's get some Crane Gunners and a couple Iron Hail Gunners. Wow, Iron Hail Gunners are cheap too, and then they can fire straight through friendlies. Wow, it's gonna be tough. CPU faction. Just throw a Herald of Corn on there. And let's just go get a map picked real quick. Map setup. Yes, this will work. Whatever, good enough. Start the battle. We give this a shot and test this out. Yeah, I'm testing. I want to see it in action here, Marcus. More blob warfare, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, blobs can get really punished really quickly by the right magic. The faction that gets screwed kind of the most by this would be Khorne, feasibly, because they don't use magic. And they have really expensive units and not a whole lot of them, per se. So I could see this being quite bad for Khorne. But I mean, it's kind of a stupid change. Like, I don't know, like just altogether, it seems like a really stupid change.
Crane Gunners.
Like, I get that they're struggling sometimes with ranged units that have a direct line of fire being super useful for people, but at the same time, that doesn't mean you should just break them. And like here, look, I'll block all their shots like this, and we'll see what happens. Okay, start the battle. Just fast forward here. See what happens. So, Tuso, thanks for joining tonight. It's good to have you here. Pilgrim, appreciate you being here as well. Ernesto, good to see you. Mick E. I think I said hi to Ghost King earlier. Marcus, I think I said hi. So, if you're out there, you think I haven't said hi to you and I need to, then let me know. I'll try and read it out here. Yeah, I mean, these guys are not getting blocked line of fire right here. Now, Crane Gunners have a decent angle anyway, so, I mean, they would typically be firing over these front units as is. Iron Hail Gunners, not so much. They're very short range, very direct line of fire. So, we'll see that here momentarily. Because if you can just use Jade Warriors to hold the line and just blast Iron Hail Gunner through it, then Cafe is going to be invincible in campaign for all intents and purposes. Because this, I mean, yeah, I mean, look, it's already, yeah, it's working. Look at that, just firing right on through. No friendly fire. It doesn't show any of my units blocked. They were firing away. Now they're not. So they're still not firing. Look at that.
Vendors of Cafe.
That's odd.
Iron Hail of Gunners.
That unit's showing blocked right now.
Oh, Cafe.
That unit's showing blocked.
As one. Restore order.
Oh, it's because they're not formed into that group. Okay, I get it. Okay. so now I think I know a better way to do this. Let's concede defeat. That's right, they have to be touching the unit. Okay, let's try something different here. Okay. I was thinking, okay, so they still get blocked, so you can't just do it blatantly, like sitting behind a line and getting them to fire through it. So that's good. I mean, that would be an absolute insanity. But I think what we can do is something like this.
Warriors!
So like we can just like, I mean, it would cause this unit to get attacked, or you could do, well, you would just stick them in the front line, and I'm thinking some kind of, here, I got an idea. So if I just do a front line of swords like this, and then I put like some Jade Warriors like sticking out, something like this.
Wind and fire!
Let's see, I put a Jade Warrior.
Faithful.
And like basically I need a unit to block the charge of some of the enemy infantry units, and I'm sure someone else has already come up with the ideal cheese formation for this. See, now those units overlap each other slightly. This should work.
Warriors!
I should be able to just fire through them now. And then if I just stack the crane gunners right in the middle of all this, again, it should just continue to work.
Crane gunners!
Okay, so let's just stack all them where they're overlapping each other.
Defenders of Cathay!
And I think
For the
this will
defense!
help us max out the cheese. Okay, there we go. Let's hit start battle. Yeah, so now that I have the long, thin column intersecting the gunners should be able to just shoot straight through and make their hits. Wicked says he just got home from what is his Friday. Yeah, look at this. Crane gunner's just shooting right through all this mess. No problem. So, yeah, this is... I think I kind of get where they're going here, but oh my gosh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just buried a couple of units of Corn Warriors. Oh my gosh. And see, it's going to be really hard for Corn to get in here and stop these gunners, because they're going to get blocked up on these long, thin units. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I mean, if I was using this against the AI, this would be utterly hilarious, but it's also stupid. Like, I mean, it's funny to make a few videos and to cheese your way through a legendary campaign or something, but this is utterly obnoxious in terms of, like, just making your game look stupid. It's a fantasy Total War game, for sure. But, I mean, even fantasy has to have some confines, right? I mean, wow. Just look at this. The Iron Hail Gunners are just absolutely shredding. And in some ways I like this, because Iron Hail Gunners are very difficult to use. And so it's cool to see them, like, actually get some kills, but not this way. Not this way, CA. Wow. That is really bad. Yeah, that is excessively bad. Look, if I turn this way, I should be able to just keep firing at those units. Why is this one not firing? They're touching these units. They ought to be able to just shoot straight through. Okay, there they go. They got stopped for a minute. See, like this unit, I turned it sideways. They ought to be able to just start blasting right into this blob without being blocked. Yeah, they are. So see, I'm just getting shot straight through into this blob. Yeah, this is... I don't see this lasting for long. Like, there's no way that this doesn't just get CA screamed at over and over and over again. I'm glad they're trying to make some changes to help improve, because I have had a lot of issues with range units. So I'm glad they're trying to fix things and that they're listening to feedback, but this ain't it. Like, this ain't it. Wow, the Iron Hail Gunners. I will never use such a formation on general principle. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same way here at Strategos, but like if you're one of those people that's just out there min-maxing to win the game, I mean, you're going to abuse the daylights out of this, and it can be abused massively. With some crafty formations, I mean, you can set up a near impenetrable box and just gun through it. So yeah, that is obscene and obnoxious and can't stand. Like, CA's got to get rid of that. I was saying it's something they should fix quick, but we got a funny comment here from King in the West. He says 2 months for the over and under before this is fixed. Yeah, exactly. It'll be several months and hit a roadmap, and then 7 months later. Sorry, I love you, CA, I really do, but I can't help but tease you a little sometimes. I want you to succeed, though. Like, I'm not out here cheering for them to fail. Yeah, what Legend of Total War will be drooling over this? He probably is. I would imagine that other than thinking it's also obnoxious, that he's going to have some fun abusing the snot out of it to win some legendary fights for sure. That box is a dwarf player's wet dream. Yeah, if the dwarves were in the game right now, then, I mean, just think what you could do with Trollhammer torpedoes and Iron Drakes. I mean, can you imagine Iron Drakes in the middle of a box like that being blocked that way? I mean, you're going to be very vulnerable to getting hit by magic. So it would definitely have its drawbacks in a multiplayer game, right? If someone has a wind spell or a vortex spell, you are going to get cremated by it. And so there's definitely drawbacks. So it's not like it would be a guaranteed win for someone who uses it, but it's just stupid. It looks stupid, and it doesn't make any sense, like even in fantasy. And so it needs to be fixed. Definitely needs to be fixed. Where's Foot of Gork when you need it? Exactly. Like, there's definitely some punishments for, I mean, artillery. Oh my gosh, can you imagine rockets opening up on something like that? Or flame cannon? Yeah, pendulum, exactly, Legamus. I mean, it's going to be brutal when you get lined up. Like, so there's definitely punishments for that blobbing of a formation there. But at the same time, like, it's just dumb and doesn't need to be in the game. So, yeah, it's interesting. We need to play some battles. So why don't you all come join me for some battles? We'll go ahead and play some Warhammer 3 if enough people have it turned on right now. If not, we can switch over to Warhammer 2. But we'll play the battles. Before you come join, go to your options, go into the graphics settings, and click this drop down and put it on medium or low, and then apply the changes before you come into the game. So please take care of that for me so that it'll help minimize lag. Oh, we need to look at the Regiments of Renown. Make sure and change your graphics, though, before we get in and do that, okay? If you all don't mind. But yeah, let's go take a look at the Regiments of Renown real quick. Let's go versus AI again, army setup, and we'll just start with Cathay since we're here. We'll go load through and check out all the Regiments of Renown. So we got the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, which is a great Longma rider, and they pick up armor-piercing damage. Let's see if there's any... Yeah, immune to psychology. And Guardian. Wow, so that's going to give them significant protection capability when they're thrown into the fight with their Lord. So it gives physical resistance to the Lord whenever they're nearby, and then they cause a lot more damage with that armor-piercing being what it is. So that'll be a handy unit. That's a lot of charge, and with that AP damage, they're going to be doing some pretty significant damage on the charge. Very expensive unit. Nice armor, though. 110. I mean, that's a lot of armor on those units. Go check out the next faction here. So we go back to... Well, Demons won't have one, so Khorne. If we go into Khorne, Khorne got this one right here, the Heralds of Khorne's Fury. This is a Blood Crusher. And let's compare it to our normal Blood Crusher. Actually, I need to click this one and then mouse over here. So it gets the increased leadership, melee attack, and defense because of the chevrons. Stability, so it picks up extra abilities. This Mantle of Immolation, which is a passive hex that causes flame resistance to drop and melee defense to go down. And then I'm guessing a lot of Khorne units, no, they don't have flame damage? Some of them do. So it looks like it will benefit Bloodletters and any other unit that has flaming damage in the Khorne army. So, well, no, not all Bloodletters have it. It's just the Exalted Bloodletters. Interesting. I would have thought more units in Khorne's army. Okay, well, the Lord has flaming attacks, so they could go along well with a Lord. So, yeah, that Mantle of Immolation is definitely the addition there. Is Hellblade added to him? No, that's still there. All right. So that's the Khorne unit, so not bad. Pretty decent addition. Let's hit the next race here. Kislev picked up the Warbears. So let's grab both these units and take a look real quick. So again, picks up the leadership, melee attack, and defense from the Chevronage. And then as far as abilities go, Buyer Blood. So Call of Tor is an ability. It's a bombardment. Does not affect friendly troops. Weak against a single combatant. Large strike area. So basically, if they get into a blob of infantry, they can bombard it. Says it causes moderate magical damage in a large strike area, but it gives the blinded effect for 10 seconds, which is a massive reduction to attack, defense, and accuracy. Won't last a long time, but that is a huge debuff. Yeah, this Regiment of Renown is all about Cav. That's what it's looking like, Thane. Definitely what it's looking like. So that's a cool Regiment of Renown for Kislev. I like that, because I like Warbear Riders. They're a really cool unit. Alright, getting in here for Nurgle. So Papa Nurgle gets the Barons of the Bog Pox Riders. And let's compare them up against the standard Pox Riders. They pick up armor as well. Yeah, so they picked up some extra armor, which is nice. They'll be harder to kill. A lot of Nurgle units have very low armor. Let's check out, I'm guessing there's an ability difference here. Yeah, the Sickness and Miasma of Rot. Looks like they get added in. So the Wasting Sickness takes away mass, weapon damage, and armor-piercing weapon damage in a 35-meter radius. And then Miasma of Rot is going to, let's see, affected units, if their hit points are less than 50%, they start regaining vigor. Interesting. So it'll basically help the Nurgle units last even longer. So these would be a nice support unit as well as being a pretty solid unit for attack with the poison, and they're going to really slow other units down. And then that is some pretty solid anti-infantry capability that they've got on them as well. So interesting unit for Nurgle. Let's go check out the Ogre Kingdoms. They picked up the Sky Striders, which is the Crushers with great weapons. Holy weapon damage, Batman. Wow, 144. Those guys hit like a truck. So they picked up Frostbite. That's interesting. So they're going to have a speed impact on anything they attack. And it looks like missile resistance. Yeah, 20% missile resistance. So that's going to make them a lot harder to kill from range. What else did they... Yeah, so they picked up weapon strength as well. That weapon strength doesn't get added by chevrons, does it? It didn't on the other units. On the other units, it was just leadership, melee attack, and defense. So they picked up weapon strength as well as the missile resistance. Yeah, I mean, that is some strong cavalry right there. Very expensive, but I'm guessing in a one-on-one with basically any other cavalry in the game, and these guys are going to win. Like, outside of abilities and Lord support and stuff like that, I'm guessing that these guys just walk away against anything winning. That is a really strong unit. Wow. All right, let's go take a look at Slaaneash's unit. Let's kill this. Got picked here, and the Regiments of Renown. This is the Eternal Entourage. So they're Heartseekers of Slaaneash. So it is an elite of the elite. Let's throw that up here, and then we go from Heartseekers. Now, Heartseekers already have quite a lot of special abilities. Look here. Obsessive Adoration. Looks like it's new. Yeah, so let's go see what that is. Obsessive Adoration. Oh my gosh, not even more attack. So if there's a Lord or a Hero it gets extra attack and damage and base and armor piercing. Wow. So you run this unit next to your lord or heroes for extra damage. That's going to be pretty significant because you already get a ton of damage. So let's see what else, if anything else is new here. It looked like there were melee attacks or anything else changed. Maybe I'm missing something else, but I mean, that's an interesting change. Yeah, this next level glass cannon, that's right thing. These are going to be some very serious glass cannon units there. So let's head over to Tzeentch and check them out too. Now, what unit did Tzeentch? Oh, they got the Doom Knights. Let's check out the Doom Knights. Doom Knights are such a cool unit, so I'm excited for this one. They got the Searing Torrent here, the bombardment ability that has Warp Flame contact. That's going to have extra fire damage weakness for folks. It's not good against single combatants, good against groups. They can use it when they're out of melee, and it recharges when they're in melee. And it has 5 uses. It looks like a 60-second cooldown if they're in melee. So that's pretty neat there with those Regiments of Renown. Let's see if anything else changed. Oh, doesn't look like it. It's got a bombardment ability, so nice change. I mean, they're adding 1 Regiment of Renown per faction. They're coming in for free. This is nice. You know, it'll be a slow trickle, but each faction's slowly getting a little more variety and a little more capability, so good stuff. And it's free, right? So it's hard to argue with the cost. Can't argue with the cost. Anyway, let's go ahead and play some battles, folks. Let's jump in. I'm going to host these. Multiplayer lobby. It's going to be Heirs Battle, and the password is 1. Make sure you've gone and set your graphics settings to medium or low, please. Does Daniel the Demon have 8 Regiment of Renown? I don't know if they get to Regiment of Renown. I haven't looked. Yeah. They get them all. Okay. Let's do some land battles. I think we did domination last time. Let's do some... What? Survival battle? Is this... co-op? Is that what this is? Is this co-op? Does anybody know how this works, the survival battles? Or are we fighting against each other? Survival's co-op. Let's try the co-op battle real quick. Let's see how it goes down. It's U4 versus the AI. It's like the Forge of Souls battle. All right, let's try it real quick. Let's see it. Let's have it go down. So you all pick. Thank you to Green Tea Ice Cream, Slayer Slade, and Gentle Rat all for joining. Pick whatever faction you want and pick an army. Let's just try this out. I have no idea what it's like. So I'm just for this one. I'm just gonna let people pick whatever faction they want and go for it. It looks like it's similar to domination in the way that you choose your army. But we've got to, you know, hold out in the survival battle. So I'm gonna, yeah, Ying here. Get her abilities. I definitely want Earthblood. Not looking for Flesh to Stone. Redirects projectiles back toward the firing unit. Regrowth is also good. Life Bloom, Power Yin, Arcane Conduit. Don't really need that. I'll go ahead and leave Life Bloom because why not? Alright. So, let's see. Got Miao Ying to start off with. We have so very few slots to start with. Why is it like so few slots and so much money? It seems strange, is it not? I mean, if it's so few slots and a lot of money, then we need to really be tanking up here. 9 Chevron fire rain rocket. How about it? All right, reinforcing army. Let's see. So let's head to the reinforcing army. Nice of CA to remove the chat. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense why they removed the chat. I'm sure it's because they were frustrated with... let's grab a sky meme just for fun. And some crane gunners would be good. And then let's get celestial dragon guards. And... some dragon crossbows. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, I'm ready to meme. Whenever you all are ready, those of you who joined, just go ahead and ready up. I mean, there's so few slots, it feels like you might as well just tank up with elites. If there had been a lot more slots, I would have brought a whole lot more units and given myself more flexibility, but there's very few slots, and I'm guessing it's because there's 4 of us. And so they're trying to not have 7 million units on the screen at the same time. If I had to guess. It's the same map of 4 people. Yep, that's kind of what my thinking is. They're probably just trying to limit the number of units on there so that it doesn't completely crash. An army of chaffs and an army of chads. Yeah, this is definitely Chad Cathay that we got going on right now. Right, Nikki? Sorry, I'm like tanking up on water. I was out for a jog with the dog before the stream, so I ran like 1.5 miles and then walked like another 2.5 miles. So I'm still, I sweat like some kind of sick person or something. Like, I mean, I come back like I've lost probably like 5 pounds of water weight. I sweat so much. It's so hot. Like I have to go at like 7 o'clock at night because I live in a real hilly area, and so the sun kind of gets behind the hills and the trees. So it's much nicer to go like after 7 o'clock. But yeah, I still sweat like crazy. It's so hot right now. It hasn't rained a drop in 4 weeks. And it's just dry and hot and nasty right now. Yeah, bringing a chunky army. We are indeed, Slayer. We are indeed bringing a chunky army. Uh-oh. Pilgrim says, curious to see if CA fixed these battles yet. Maybe not. We'll see.
The Brass Citadel, the keep of the Blood God, home of the Skull Throne. The Citadel is guarded by 888 bloodthirsters.
That's a lot.
But we need only breach its outer defenses to draw out the Gatekeeper.
How come it wasn't 666
Start at
bloodthirsters?
the ruined fort, defeat its garrison, and capture the Icon of Ruin. This will give you a foothold and grant us supplies to reinforce for the struggle ahead.
Pilgrim says the multiplayer version has a bug where they send far fewer units than the single player. That's not good. 8 is Korn's holy number? Oh, okay. I got it.
You have drawn the Blood God's gaze. Make sure you are worthy of his attention.
Didn't know
Let
that.
the slaughter begin.
6 successes. Slonesh's numbers. Okay. I don't want to take their numbers away from them.
Rocket battery!
Yeah, we definitely have a chunky... Oh, you know what? If I just... Can I just stick my Terracotta Sentinels, like, in the artillery? Since if it's touching now, we're good to go.
Master of Tempest!
Okay. Well, I'm ready. My deployment's easy. Respect the numbers? That's right, yeah. I guess I didn't know my Warhammer numbers. I gotta learn my Warhammer math. Alaska's heat wave. Average of 80 to 85 degrees. For us, that's devastating because our buildings are designed to hold heat in. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's almost 100 degrees every day here and quite humid, which we get that kind of weather every year, so that's not anything new per se. It's just we don't usually have it back to back to back to back every day starting in early June like we did this year. It usually comes much later in July and then into August. So basically we got it really early this year. Our dry season is usually like starting in July and then on in through the end of August. Wow, these guys are getting completely and totally owned, and I'm here for it. My 9 Chevron fire rockets are merciless. And then look at all this, we got the blazing squealers, multiple blazing squealers, because we have one from each faction.
Cavalry! Move in
Rest in
formation.
pieces, Corn, rest in pieces. Alright, let's bring our sentinels up here. I'm gonna have to go ahead and probably start moving the
Fire!
rockets up here.
Cavalry!
What did Nurgle bring? Multiple Beast of Nurgle, and then Daddy Kugath, and a Soul Grinder. Yeah, I mean, you have to bring a chunky army. It doesn't make any sense not to, because you have so very few slots to work with.
Ready to defend! Sent by Gairan!
Cavalry!
Alright.
By dragon!
Well, they definitely should have had more units up here. You know what I'm thinking, Pilgrim? You said that they didn't have enough units, and it kind of feels that way. It should be more like that Something Rotten and Kislev campaign that we played. They had crap loads of units you came up against there, so you get the benefit of being co-op and having multiple players to help spread out the micromanagement, but there are so many bad guys. And let's see what happens here when the waves come in, but that didn't seem like enough enemies there to be anything significant. At least not in my opinion. Alright.
Rocket battery! Marching as one!
Got some buildings going. Just went ahead and used all my supplies on buildings because I'm not too terribly worried yet. Oh yeah, I got rocket towers. Suck it, Minotaurs. Dude, those rocket towers are absolutely gruesome. I love it. The waves don't come in right? Okay. I'm guessing that this is pretty low on CA's priority list to fix. But hey, at least if we've played it, we'll know, you know, that it's broken and not working right. They certainly look really weak right now. Like, they're coming in extremely piecemeal. Let's see. Thane says, can you please pull a Skaven in this battle? It will be so funny. Like what, run away? Like just flee, skitter flee? Wow, my towers are absolutely annihilating almost everything. Look at this out here. Got the Regiment of Renown Doom Knights wrecking a skull cannon. Might as well get some cinematic shots while we're here because the action's certainly not going to be too crazy. Now, this could be a fun mode. It really could, if they would fix this. And then when you play, like, I've only gotten just a taste of it, but that Something Rotten and Kislev campaign, there was so many bad guys, and it makes it very, very fun as a co-op mode. So I would like to see something like that in here, you know, where it's significantly more bad guys, where it's a very real challenge. Regina says you can usually just take one lord or hero and go through the whole thing. Jeez, that's pretty pathetic. CA, please. Well, at least I know not to do this again, but I wanted to check it out, because I haven't seen it yet. It's my opportunity to try some new things. Terracotta Sentinel about to get real angry. Gold attack upgrades. Oh my gosh, 87 attack, 840 damage. Yes, please. What a joke. The enemies are just getting bowled over. Oh man. I want to get the gold armor upgrade on this thing too. 30 more armor and 10% damage resistance. I'm just gonna put ridiculous upgrades on the few units I have rather than spend any more money. Yeah, look how long it takes to get through the wave. This is lame. Hey, for the folks I'm playing with, let's not waste our whole time on this. Let's go play like an FFA or something. I'm gonna concede. If you all can hear me that are playing with me, let's just concede out of this. You can go ahead and stay in the match. There's no need to leave. Just stay in the game, and we'll set up like an FFA or something and play that. That way we don't waste our whole stream doing this, because this definitely is bored. This is not gonna be any fun. There we go. I'm really sad that it doesn't work right. Yeah, I mean, it could be fun. It's unfortunate that they've let so much stuff get past them like that, because, like I said, based on just that quick gameplay that we did in Something Rotten, like, you could have a lot of fun with it when there's substantial enough enemy armies on the other side. It gets more entertaining because you can, like I said, you can split up the micromanagement. You know, someone can handle ranged, someone can handle infantry, you can sub-commander it, or you can just, you know, split off pieces of the army. It's really fun. It's definitely a good way to go. So let's switch over the map setup. Let's just go into land, or let's do an FFA. So we'll do a free-for-all battle. Oh, someone left the game. You don't have to leave, whoever it was. If you want to come back in, or if someone else just wants to fill it, then feel free. So yeah, we'll just fill this one up. Okay, yeah, we got everybody here at the same group, so we'll just play an FFA battle. And let's see, I'll probably go ahead and switch. Do I want to switch factions? I do want to switch factions. I'm gonna play some Nakari. I'm gonna throw my army blocker up. Let's finish this up here real quick. So let's see here. All right, I should be good to go. There. All right, I'm ready. Whenever you all are ready, you can just hit the ready button, take your time, get your army picked. Marcus says, I do not think that this is the anticipated IE. No. Nope. See, Puggington says, HeirofCarthage, have you seen since the new patch? Yeah, we just tested that earlier, Puggington. It was terrible. Yeah, it really needs to be fixed. It's going to be abused really badly. Yeah, we saw that earlier, Puggington. It was terrible. Really bad. Thane says the blocker reminds me we can get a Warhammer fighting game. Yeah. Be like a Street Fighter with all the Warhammer characters. Yeah, CA please indeed, Puggington. It was bad. That's just, it's not good. Yep, anybody can join. Brandon, if you want to just get ready on the next one, I'll be hosting more. We're just kind of playing around for fun. Decided to jump in an FFA. I tried the co-op survival battles, but it was just terrible. So we just stopped it. We're going to do a different one. It's Bork 2. Wow, man, CA has a lot of stuff broken in this game. I think they'll make it right. I think eventually this game will be really fun. It's just uber frustrating. Like, why? Just delay it. Just delay it. Do it right. I don't understand, you know? Just delay it and do it right. Mortal Kombat is more grimdark. Sorry for the caption exclamation. Yeah, so it'd be Immortal Empires Combat. Video game developers these days don't seem the most functional, just generally must suck being deployed. Well, you know, it could be the developers. It certainly could be issues there, but is it people wanting to just publish sooner? You know what I mean? Like, a company is beholden to its stakeholders, shareholders, whatever the case is, right? If it's public, it's going to be its shareholders. They're going to do whatever gives their shareholders what they want, right? Even if it's the wrong decision. So, like, CA releasing this in the fourth quarter, they did it because it's going to make their financials look better for the year, to get all the sales in the fourth quarter and make a big year out of that. And then try and get sales off the DLC next year. So I'm just guessing. I can't verify any of this, right? I can't show it and prove it. But that's probably why. I just had to venture a guess. So I don't know for certain. But I'm guessing publishers have a lot to do with it. They get to probably push a lot on schedules and make decisions about when to release stuff. But again, I don't know. I'm not in the industry. I don't have any inside knowledge, so I really don't know. Clearly, Creative Assembly has talented developers. Like, I mean, you look at Mortal Empires, you look at the DLCs that came out for Mortal Empires, they were really solid. It took a while for the game to get all the way up into that position, but it's really good stuff. Like, so I think they have good developers at Creative Assembly. It may just be that the decision-making sometimes isn't very sharp. You know what I mean? That could be it. It may just be that the decision-making's not very sharp. From a leadership or management standpoint. I don't know. I do not know.
Your damnation is inevitable. Your musk shall cease. To the next victory!
All right.
Arch Tempter.
Not going to get a lot of points off these Nurglings, but take what I can get. Wow. Did a lot of damage from that bombardment. No thanks. Not worth it. Killing a few Nurglings to get bombarded like that.
Attack! Feast! Keeper of secrets. Marauders!
Heart seekers.
I gotta try and get. Oh, dang, man. That Kugath bombardment is kind of brutal.
Seeking Slaaneish's embrace.
A little bit brutal.
Agreed.
I need to cut through this chaff so I can get my Heartseekers up here and shred all this Nurgle stuff. He's getting as much damage done to me right now as I am to him, so that's not ideal. Alright, push through these nerdlings, come on.
A flurry of talent.
Heartseekers of Slanesh! Darkling Majesty.
Alright. Not getting as many points as I would like here off a Nurgle.
I, the bringer of temptation.
I feel like we should be getting a lot more damage done a lot faster here with Heartseekers and stuff. But then again, maybe I'm just used to the campaign damage effects, which are probably considerably faster.
Pain and despair.
But I'm not getting near as many points as I thought I would get a lot of points going up against Nurgle because they have so much health. It has not been great.
Power of Slanesh.
My Heartseekers aren't getting near as much done as they do for me in the campaign.
Agony!
Bring us soap.
It pleases Slanesh!
Soap.
Yes, see, Slayer is picking up way more points than I am out of the situation, which is kind of crazy because Nurgle just doesn't do near as much damage. But it's... Maybe it's because my units are far more valuable. That's probably what it is. My units are probably far more valuable. And then I had to bust through all those Nurglings before I started doing more damage to these units. I'll bet that's what happened. Can't really get any extra damage done with these bombardments here or anything, unfortunately. My magic's kind of going wasted at the moment.
Your desires are mine.
Not gonna do me much good. So let's go ahead and unleash this here on those expensive units. See if we can get some damage done before we roll over and go to our grave here, which definitely seems like what's about to happen. I could try and pull Nakari out of here and live to fight another day, but live does not seem like something that's in my immediate future. Nope, we're done. But time to just go all in here. That's fine. YOLO. I'm good with it. When playing Slanesh, just jump in, enjoy the pain and suffering, and get it done quickly. Boy, Kugath is very survivable. He took a lot of beating there. Look at that healing cap on him. Like, he had a ton of hit points, and he almost hit a heal cap. So he took some damage in the midst of all that. Why are you not cycle charging with Slanesh? I don't have any room to cycle charge, and then Nurgle poisons you, so it's difficult to pull away. Yes, typically you'd want to be cycle charging, but I couldn't get my chaff up in here to help block for me while I was cycle charging. But that would have been ideal, is you bring in the chaff infantry, let them block while you cycle charge. Did I really think I could win a straight-up fight against Nurgle? No. But what was I supposed to do? Charge headlong into Kislev with all the guns? No way. So yeah, I was going straight for Nurgle. I figured with all the hit points and stuff, I might be able to get enough points to jump up, but it did not work out anywhere near the level that I had hoped. Is there a specific faction you enjoy the most? In Game 3, I like Kislev best, in terms of playing campaign and stuff. In Game 2, I really like Dwarves and High Elves. Lizards are a fun faction. Empire's really fun. I got a lot of factions that I like in Game 2. In Game 3, though, I'm pretty partial to Kislev, and I'd have to say that if I had to pick a second place, it'd probably be Grand Cathay. In campaign, the Seducers of Slanesh are pretty fun to play, though, too. Checking something there. Starman, thanks for the 10. He says, hey, Air, hope you and the fam are doing good. We are doing good. Everything's great. Had a good time tonight. Well, I mean, everything's great except for me being stuck in the office. But yeah, outside of that, it's been really good. Going back to the office has been pretty bad, but I've learned that if I just go out and make sure I exercise every day, it really helps with the depression that the office brings in terms of me just sitting there all day in a windowless tomb of a building, knowing that you don't need to be there, knowing that you could be working at home, that I get to see my boys and my wife all throughout the day, like that I get more exercise, that I don't have to spend almost $100. Yeah, it's going to be close to not quite $100, but it's going to be like $70 a week in gas. You know, even for the relatively short commute, because gas is at record high prices. So it's just, I've worked for my company for 12 years. I like what the company provides to our customer, but our leadership just has so much to be desired, and it's been really frustrating. Like they're treating us bad, they know they're treating us wrong, and they're just doing it anyway. And the founder of the company would not be okay with it. In fact, he specifically would have not been like this way. Like if he would have known he had a way to improve the balance of his workers and their families, he was definitely a hard worker. And if he wouldn't have made that decision, because he was a pretty shrewd businessman, his wife certainly would have made him do it. Like if she knew that he could give the workers a better balance and that he wasn't doing it, she would have gotten him and made him done it. If even if he wouldn't have done it. But it drives me crazy because leaders, like most of the leaders today in business and everywhere for that matter, for most countries and other stuff, are actually some of the weakest characters in society. But they end up in the most powerful positions because the people who would probably be strong leaders don't go seeking leadership. And so you end up with these people in leadership who are there to just suck up the glory and cannot make the right decisions. They struggle to relate with, the everyday working person. They cannot relate to them. It's like they live in a bubble in a whole other world. And it drives me absolutely bonkers because it's not like it takes some high-level IQ to get a pulse on what's going on with the people who work for you. It just takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of actually being a real person. It's very easy to do, but they won't do it. They refuse to do it. And it's mind-boggling to me. What's funny is like 12 years ago when I joined the company, we had some really good leaders. Really good. They had charisma. They'd walk into a room and they would carry the room on their charisma. You would want to work with them because of the way that they talk to you and were able to appreciate you and lead that in. They were able to share a vision of the company, one that you could understand and you knew what you were working towards. And it was really cool because, you could go into meetings and be like, all right, sweet, what are they going to say today? And you'd be excited and you just knew. But then it's just like over time, they just started getting worse and worse and worse. And now I've noticed that what a lot of leaders like to do, or really ambitious people, is it's 12 to 18 months at a time in a position, and they just bounce from company to company to company, taking new jobs and just leveraging each new job for a giant pay raise. And then they come in, they turn everything on its head for 12 months because I'm a new leader, so I have to change everything, right? They made me the leader, so why not change everything that exists, even if it doesn't need to be? They flip everything on its head, and then 12 to 18 months later, they bounce out and go to a different company. And they don't have to live with any of the consequences. And then you got folks like me who are trying to dedicate, a career for a company. We get stuck with that kind of crap. And so it just gets frustrating. I like my work. I'm not going to leave it, but at the same time, it's been a series of extremely frustrating events over the last few years. So anyway, I'll get some of the comments here. Let's see. Alex RM says the store I work at had a small fire this week, and we're being called in still. Place still smells like smoke. Dang, man, that sucks. Got to be careful. Sometimes you can actually have some pretty dangerous stuff still sticking around after that. So, yeah. Would you like to know more? That's right. Get us some Starship Troopers mentality. Hey, thanks for playing. The folks who joined. Definitely appreciate you joining. I think Tuso joined in. If you were in the last battle, go ahead and cycle out for a second, and let's see if anybody else wants to join in. And if other people don't join, then feel free to jump right back in. But thank you for the folks who are playing. The password is 1, just the number 1. and it is called Heirs Battle for the game, and the password is just 1. So go ahead and join. Red Duke says, am I going to continue the Starship Troopers campaign? Yeah, I'll try and do a few more missions. I'll have to record them this weekend, though, because I just don't have a lot of time to record right now. All right, we got Ghost Keen and Puggington. Let's go ahead and try, should we do like a 2v2? Land battle. And let's see, let's open player slot. Either Tuso or Puggington, does one of you all want to jump on Ghost King's team? Or I can switch teams. There we go. I got it. There we go. And then I'll close that slot. I'll team up with Ghost King. I gotta go pick a new map. Let's see. Desert map. This will probably work. It's gonna be pretty small, but we'll make it work. This is deep. Yeah. Sorry I got into the whole work thing. Oh, no. Fenris is saying, I hope your boss isn't a fan of the stream. No, my boss is great. And his boss is great. So, like, my immediate management is fantastic. That's the reason why I keep staying at this job. They're absolutely wonderful. Like, they're great. So I stick at it because I like working for them so much. And that's been, like, I think one of the silver linings throughout this whole thing is that no matter how frustrated I get with, like, I'm talking about the very top level leadership in my company, not my immediate management. My immediate management is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, they're the reason why I'm staying, because I get along with them so well. They respect us. We respect them. We do a lot of work. They know how to do our work, and they know what it entails, and they've done it themselves. They've been in that area of the company for like 15 or 20 years. So it's great, you know what I mean? Because they understand what you're doing, and you know, they have our interest at heart. So it's really been good. So fortunately, my boss and then his boss and my immediate management, they're fantastic. I love working for them. So like I said, that's been the silver lining. It's another reason why I'm so hesitant to leave, despite being frustrated with a lot of stuff, is because if I go somewhere else, like, dadgum, man, I've had a bad leader before, and I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through having a direct manager that I butt heads with really bad again. It's not fun. Yeah, it's so things are good though. Thanks for asking, Starman. Sorry I got off on a big rant there, but yeah, we're good. The work has been frustrating, but it's not like ruining my life or causing big issues. I found, like I said, that when I get out and exercise a lot, it helps get rid of all the mental frustration and anger and stuff that I have. Like, it helps me get it out, and seems to help deal with it, and I find myself in a much better place as a result. Having managers who you can actually interact with and not feel like you're having a life force drained from your body is a big plus. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Alaskan Ambush says, Air literally had my leader tell me F your coworkers when I voiced my concerns over policies that placed them at risk. Dang, man. I work at a prison and that was my superintendent. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good place to be in, especially whenever you have literal dangers you have to deal with as part of your job. Yeah, that's definitely not good. My company has like an open door policy with leadership. Some leaders don't actually do it. Mine do. It's great. Like, if you ever just want to talk, you just go and sit down. You can say whatever you want, and they don't hold stuff against you. You know what I mean? Like, you can just go get stuff off your chest. You can tell them what you think, and then, you know, it's great. So in that case, I've been very fortunate. So yeah, I definitely don't want to be in that position, because that would be really bad. Overcast Spirit Leech at the office. Yeah. Like I said, fortunately, my frustration is with the top of the company. My immediate team and managers are fantastic, and that's what keeps me going. And I'm glad I have them, or else it would just be a complete soul suck right now. But yeah, because of that, you know, things are really fine. Like, it's frustrating, but fine. Not the end of the world. Let's see. Isliv Korn versus Ogre Cathay. Man, they're going to have some serious range. So Cathay... Yeah, Cathay and Ogres together. That's going to be tricky. Ooh, I got to think about my picks here. This is a little bit scary, honestly. Cathay and Ogres together, I mean, combining halberds, crossbows, and giant big guts. That's going to be a little bit scary. Definitely going to be a little scary. All right. That should work. Just got to get the rest of my army put together here, folks. Let's see. Looks like my teammate switched over to Zinch. The funds set weird. No, funds are on default, so okay. Funds is on default. I don't know what to bring. Why do the funds feel so small? Feels small, but maybe not. I don't know, let's just give it a shot. I don't want to think about it too much. Let's just play some game. OnlyFans. Not so much. Alex says, can I just say how unabashedly funny it is that Queek has Scarbrand standing between him and 8 Peaks? Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an issue, maybe. Might be an issue. What's my online record? I haven't hardly played this game online at all. Whenever I was playing... in fact, I haven't played a lot of online battles in a long time. Whenever I was playing online battles more frequently a couple of years ago in Warhammer 2, I was like 50-50 on the ladder. So, I mean, I was, maybe a little better than 50-50, but I would say that I'm a player of moderate skill. If I go up against tournament players, I can give them a good game. Every now and then, I might win a game off of a, lucky pick on my part. But most of the time, I'm going to lose to the competitive players. But I can play, as well or better than probably most of your just average players in the game, right? So I've never been like a big-time skill player in this game. But I do understand the systems of the game, which allows me to be quite successful in campaigns. But yeah, it's just, as far as multiplayer goes, like I'm not winning any tournaments or anything. But I mean, at the same time, like I can give, like if I sit there and really think about my army picks and maybe I were to spend a little time watching some battles, like I can give a decent game to a competitive player. I'll lose most likely, but I can give them a decent game. If I'm just, playing like I am tonight, I'm just being more social. I'm just picking things that seem fun and playing. Like I'm not getting too into my pick and trying to really think, you know, okay, if they do this, I do that. Like I don't get that into it. These matches are just more social. Some people, it just comes more natural to them, right? They just understand picks and they can counter pick well and then control it well. I don't have a lot of natural skill for like high click rates in a game. And so most of my success, if I have it in Total War, is going to just be from having a decent understanding of the game. And that takes time, you know, when players are new, it takes time to gain an understanding of Total War games and how to pick armies and all that other kind of stuff as well. Pokimane worth 10 million, man. I'd like to be worth 10 million. I wouldn't need it all, but be certainly nice. You know, if I was worth 10 million, it'd be pretty easy. I have some land already, though I may sell it, and I would buy like a lot next to a lake somewhere here close, just where I have a house overlooking the lake, and get me a, you know, a little boat to go play with my family. You know, it doesn't even have to be a huge house, right? Just a house, something. I don't need anything fancy. And then I would just take the rest of the money, make sure that my family doesn't have any debt, and then invest the rest of it and spend my time with my family. That'd be great. Like, sometimes people earn a ton of money, and then they just keep fighting to go and earning a ton more money, and that's fine. You can do that. Like, you know what I mean? If it's your money and your time, you can pick what you want to do. But for me, the only purpose why I work is to provide for my family. And should I suddenly have the opportunity to spend all my time with my family, I'm going to spend all my time with my family. You get one chance to do that. There's one thing that's for certain for every one of us here in this life. We all going to die. Everybody here on this earth is going to die. You only get one shot at it. And so I work to give my family shelter and sustenance and safety. And if I have the means to give them that, then the thing that I should be giving them more of is my time. So that would be my objective. If I suddenly was sitting on a mountain of cash like that. So I would take care of my immediate family, get us a nice place to spend time together, do a lot of family stuff, and then my extended family, use the rest of it to make sure none of them are stuck with a bunch of, you know, big home loans or anything else like that. And then you have money left over after that, just invest it. If there's any other close friends or family, whatever, do the same thing, help them out. Otherwise, don't really have a big need to just continue driving some massive income. Like you see people that just continue to make bajillions of dollars a year, and maybe their work is what really gives them satisfaction in life. And maybe that's why they just keep working despite having more money they can spend in a lifetime. And again, it's their choice. I'm not faulting anybody. That's what they do. That's what they do. It's their life, their money, their choice. You know, it's just if it were me, it would be the sole purpose of me getting that, like I said, would be for my family, and that's what I would use it for. Do it right, as we're all gonna die. Exactly. It's guaranteed. You get one life. And that's part of the reason why I've been so frustrated going back to the office. You know, my boys are growing up fast. It only happens once. You know, when they're 18 or however many years old, they're moved out. And it's over, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have that time or influence with them anymore. And it only happens once. And that's been part of the reason why I loved working at home so much, is I got to see them do so much more. I would see them learning to read. I would see them, like, learning this math stuff, or learning how to build Legos, or they come into me real excited telling me what they learned how to do on Minecraft. Like, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Like, I get to see them actually grow rather than being stuck in an office tomb for, you know, 50 hours a week. And it was priceless, right? Getting to see that, you know, experience with them, and, you know, getting to spend time with them. And so it's utterly priceless. And it's just frustrating, you know, that it goes away for no reason, since we could have continued working that way. Alaskan Ambush says, just have another kid. I feel like I'm too old for it. I feel like I'm too old for that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I wouldn't be upset, but I'm not planning on it.
He expects might.
All right, Father Bear expects might. What were they? They were shooting some arty at us. Okay, yeah, they've got a Iron Blaster over here. I cannons shot at their spears to start with, which is not what I had wanted. Sky Striders over here. So we got a major ogre cavalry threat on my left flank. Man, sometimes Little Grum is just frustratingly bad. Like sometimes it gets really good hits, and then other times it is just frustratingly bad. Just really bad misses and stuff like that. I don't get it.
Hussars! So be it! Very well!
Boris goes forth.
Let's see if I can kill some of those crane gunners. Yes, I can't figure out Little Grum. Did they ever give an explanation for why it's called Little Grum? I don't know. I don't know if they did. The crane gunners are probably just going to start sniping Boris near immediately, actually.
Defenders of Kislev!
He's got his Lord Magistrate up in a balloon. That seems like a dangerous placement for said magistrate.
Wherever Urthun asks.
Go with honor!
Righteous Lancers there.
Land is power!
Let's try and shoot them up a little.
Frost Maiden.
Trying to get up here and pester the enemy with some ranged fire. Those lead belchers, though, are dangerous. This range. I'm getting a little bit of damage done to the crane gunners. It's actually pretty good damage at the moment. I'm gonna take a pot shot at these Jade Lancers.
Hussars!
We fight for Urthun.
Okay. I love how I change targets on my cannon and it just ignores me. Waste of shot right over the top of the enemies there. I love it.
Hussars!
Whatever you do, don't fire at what I want you to.
Let's serve Kislev! Making it so! Kislev sends us forth!
Father,
Haven't been getting pounded by the crane gunners yet. They're pulling back from us. They don't want
Obey the Orthodox
my archers in range right now, and I don't blame them.
On the march! March them!
Oh, dang, I did not mean to use that yet. Crap. I'm gonna see if we can smack down these Sky Striders pretty quickly. I feel like I'm in a relatively good position. There, they're running back to get covered by some Ogre Bulls.
It is done!
Pull one unit here and cycle a little.
Taking position!
Very well. On frozen foot.
Let's make sure they can't get away from me over here.
Ice.
Hussars!
It's my cannons targeting those Lancers. Jade Warrior crossbows. I'm gonna look for some valuable targets. Hit. Let's go ahead and keep firing at the crane gunners. Crane gunners look like they may be on the snipe. There's a lot of lag going on right now, unfortunately.
Bring them down!
Got a peasant long spear.
We fight for Urthun!
Hearts of ice. Kislevites moving.
Hussars!
Let's focus fire these lead belchers a little. It's expensive. We can cut down some. Well, we got rid of the Sky... Well, not the Sky Striders yet, but we got a lot of damage done there. Let's
I am needed.
get out of those
here.
peasant long spears. They're no longer any significant threat to me over here.
Marches.
The lead belchers are getting blocked from firing now. There's a lot of lag in this game for some reason. Holy crap. Is that the Iron Blaster? It's quite a shot from whatever we got hit by there.
Defenders of Kislev.
see if we can snipe Scrag Daddy over here.
Taking point!
I have not been super impressed with Little Grom so far in this match. Getting sniped by those crane gunners big time. I'm gonna push this flank a little because it's looking open now. We had some substantial success there.
I live again.
Whew, yeah, we're getting hit hard by some artillery here. And Tzeentch has lost most of his army, so I think we're probably out of this. I don't have enough to finish everything here.
Sons of Kislev! So be it!
My Corsairs are getting roasted by artillery. I mean, we are getting absolutely just annihilated. Is that no, it's the Sky Lantern, I think. They're Sky Junk. Yeah, the Sky Junk's absolutely annihilating me right now.
Seeking battle.
Spreading hoarfrost. The power of winter.
Done.
Excellent! Kislev's vengeance! Anything for Kislev! Attack, comrades!
Let's just get our units up here and make sure everybody's got a target firing.
Buzzer, Kislev! Comrades of the bear!
Oh, their guys just ignored me and went straight for my archers here.
Eyes of glory.
Started shooting their Iron Hail Gunners, but my bears are getting chewed up real fast over here. Oh, yeah, because those guys are anti-large. Well done here. Nice scouting. You went straight into an anti-large unit. Just fed them your bears. Dadgum, man. That was brilliant. Just fed my bears to the worst possible unit. Well, we were probably out of this anyway, so we'll just take our comeuppance. Man, that Sky Junk got some work done, some serious work done. I feel like Cathay and Ogres are a pretty fantastic combination. Now, it's not to say that like my teammate and I picked like the best factions or army to counter them, or that they can't be countered. None of that may be true. Like, you know, our faction may have been able to counter these just fine for all I know, but they seem like a great combination because whatever the Ogres have for a weakness, Cathay has it as a strength, like in terms of very defensive, solid infantry. And then where Cathay is kind of weak in attack, the Ogres have crap loads of attack. And then you put the two of them together from a range standpoint, and it's like combining Skaven and Empire, right? They've got tons of really good range, or Skaven and Dwarves. So they both have excellent range. And then, like I said, the one has super good infantry for just like holding and delaying defensive, and the other has all of the attack that they need. I had these Sky Striders where I wanted them earlier. They got bailed out by that Peasant Long Spear, which is unfortunate, because we were definitely getting a good engagement on them earlier.
Sons of Kislev!
Got attacked by a Saber Tusk pack. Here's the guy who makes all those plastic bags that they say thank you on them 4 times. What? Not really sure I understand that.
Urson's right hand.
Let's see. How goes the battle? This one going great for my opponents. Sky Lantern's an interesting pick, but I guess for just a Lord, I mean, it's not a pick I would make with the Lord. I'll have to see what kind of damage it ended up doing. I've never seen the Sky Lantern do good. The Sky Junk, on the other hand, against the right faction, is pretty good. It's like a flying rocket mount. But yeah, I feel like that the combination Cathay and Ogres is a very solid combination for 2v2 scenario. And if I was having to pick one of the stronger factions, that may have changed some over time, but at least in the early patches of Game 3, the Ogres were very strong. I don't know if they're still that way, but they were very powerful. early on. I struggle with them in multiplayer as almost anybody except for Khorne. And when I'm playing as Khorne, I can usually stack up enough halberds and armor to just frustrate them and win. But outside of like Khorne, I haven't had a whole lot of luck against them. In campaign, I do just fine because I can cheese them much better. When you're playing against a player with equal funding, it's a lot different, right? When you're not playing campaign, or when you are playing campaign and it's not equal funding, you know, it's a much different story. So 2v2, let's save that one. Play another one. Go ahead and play one more. Might as well. That'll probably be about all the time I have for tonight, but let's go ahead and play one more. Thanks to Puggington, Tuso, and Ghost King. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the game. I haven't played this game hardly at all in multiplayer, so I've got a lot to learn. I'd like to play it more. I don't have time. So yeah, my time is not here. So yeah, I just do not have time to pour into the multiplayer right now. All right. So, yeah, if y'all want to join, go ahead and join. The game is called Heir's Battle, and the password is 1. Just the number 1, so feel free to join in if you'd like. Give it a good shot, Heir. Now it's just a case of throwing all your units into the breach. Yeah. I had a lot of ranged units. That was always a risk, going up against 2 factions who were good at range. However, my other option with Kislev is to charge in against all the range. I don't have any anti-large when it comes to just charging in, except for Bear Riders. And so with Kislev, I don't feel like you have a whole lot of great options against Ogres and Cathay, because they can counter you from range, and they can counter you in melee just fine. Like, so I feel like Cathay and Ogres, especially when combined, Kislev's got very few options that are going to be of much use when it's player versus player, and the other players recognize that. So, like, for instance, if I sit back and try and shoot them, you lose, because Little Grom is not near as good as their artillery. And although you can bring a ton of archers as Kislev, which is great, they'll just wear you out, you know what I mean? The Lead Belchers are really good against tightly packed infantry formations. That Iron Blaster was quite good. The Sky Junk was excellent against tight-packed infantry. Crane Gunners can pick off a lot of stuff from range, so they can just best you at range. And so then let's flip it and say, okay, well, maybe I just bring a whole bunch of armored Cassars or something and just go into combat. You could, and maybe it's better than sitting back and trying to do it from range. You can try and stop and get some pistol shots to do some damage. The thing is like, Cassars are not good against Ogre monstrous infantry, and they're not fantastic against Jade Warriors either. Like, the Cassars with great weapons would be okay against Jade Warriors, but not fantastic. And so I feel like Kislev is not great, especially against an Ogre Cathay combination. And I think Kislev holds their own against Ogres just fine in the campaign. I have not figured out how to do it right in multiplayer. Now, granted, I have not played a lot of multiplayer, so if you all feel like you have some ideas for it, we need someone to come fill this last slot. Can someone come in and jump into this last slot? The game is Heir's Battle, and the password's 1. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Got someone. Thanks for jumping in. World Beater, Netoide, and Rip Shrewds is joining me, so... But yeah, I don't know. I need to learn more. I need to just go over and watch Turin's channel. I'm sure he's got a lot of battles up where I can go and get some thoughts from it by watching the competitive gameplay. Again, I've been very strapped for time, so maybe I'll spend some lunch breaks or something catching up on some Turin videos. But I feel like that those two definitely are a nice combination. I'll go ahead and play Ogres this time. I haven't played them in a while. It's my first multiplayer battle match in Warhammer 3. Well, thanks for joining, Ernesto. Hope you have fun. Just come in and have some fun. Puggington says, thanks for the game. It was really fun to catch your stream again. Well, thanks for joining in, Puggington. It's always fun to have you join us, too. Great game. Reina Emperor says, when Immortal Empires comes out, which faction do you think will suffer the most with the introduction of Game 3 factions? You know, that's an interesting question. I don't know. It's hard for me to guess that, because they may be changing up balancing, and I mean, it's very possible at some point that Chaos and Norse could get reworked. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. I mean, the Empire has probably suffered the most over time in terms of, like, losing some of their power. I mean, they're still a good faction. I mean, the Empire used to be, like, a real force to be reckoned with. And in Game 2, they kind of lost some of that power. They could very well lose more of it in Game 3. I feel like Slaanesh is going to be a mess for the Empire to handle. Like, a real mess. All that speed and high attack, the Empire is not going to love that. And I mean, it's going to take out some really good nets and some other play to stop Slaanesh as the Empire, I think. Could be wrong, but that one could be tricky. The Empire usually kind of struggles when someone's got a lot of fast-moving, high-damage type stuff. So many demon units resistant to non-magical damage. I wonder if that'll make some factions struggle. I mean, it could. The Greenskins don't have a lot of magic attacks, so it could certainly hurt them. Yeah, it just depends. Okay, just need to get some units picked here. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's see how this goes. Good luck, have fun to everyone. Oh man, is the game bugged? Can't ready up. I think the game's bugged. Yeah, when I click ready, it doesn't do anything. Alright, let me rehost it real quick. Dadgummit. CA, please. Alright, the game's rehosted. Heir's Battle, passwords 1. Please come join in if you were there before. It's back up. That sucks. Hate that. That's happened for so many games straight here. Alaskan Ambush says High Elves will probably suffer a bit. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I feel like High Elves, for instance, could potentially be a big mess for Tzeentch. I know Tzeentch felt really powerful when the game first came out too, and I have not felt nearly as scared of Tzeentch as I used to in multiplayer. It's not to say they're not good, but Tzeentch doesn't feel like ogres are the ones that frighten me in multiplayer right now, as far as just Game 3 factions. I have a feeling Nakari and Marathi will steamroll the donut. This is our last one for tonight, Galatiger. So I have to hop off at roughly 10:30 my time. Looks like everybody's joined back in. Let's see if I can ready up this time. Yep, looks like it. Beastmen will do the opposite of suffer. Beastmen got a lot better with their DLC in Game 2. They're in a pretty good place. I think Beastmen are in a pretty happy place right now. I see tough times ahead for the Tomb Kings, especially Cetra with his start position. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be surrounded by a lot of strong factions. It'll be harder for sure. I'm curious, though. Tomb Kings always did pretty well in multiplayer. I kind of figure they probably still will. They've just got really nice units for multiplayer. But yeah, their campaign start position for Cetra will be a lot harder. Ooh, man. A long day. Those office days. Gotta love it. Knighthood saying, someone tell me if High Elves will be good. I mean, High Elves were good in the last game. If you think about what they're up against, so Ogres, for instance, take them. High Elves have Bolt Throwers, which are really a cost-effective range to counter Ogre range. So the Ogres would struggle with that. And then they have really cost-effective Spearmen. They even have Silverin Guard. Ogres wouldn't like that. I mean, Ogres would have the advantage in Cavalry. Just in terms of, like, AP, anti-large cavalry. But High Elves also have Dragons. They've got really good healing. So they certainly have some things to throw back at the Ogres. Have access to a lot of magic, some of it very good magic. Oh, whoops, I played the same map again, my bad. I always forget to change maps over. Alright, so I need to get that blocker off the screen, give me just a second, there we go.
When do we eat? Where's me master? I'll smell ya! I ain't no gobbo! Guts out, boys! Guts out, boys! Biggest in the tribe! Crushers! Ogres! I'm all that walks. Guts out, boys.
Okay. I think I'm ready to go. Go ahead and ready up here. Guts out. That's right. Get the guts out, folks. Get your guts out and get ready.
Master of the meat pot.
They're gonna have to come at us, so there's no reason to move forward any. Ooh, that's a lot of flamers. Watch out for that. If I can't deal with the flamers, then we're gonna suffer a great deal at their hands.
Serve the ogres! I ain't no gobbo! Boss says so. Now do! Killing time! Ogres attack! Munch you! Here we go!
Alright, so Slanesh is coming at us hot and heavy here.
Noblars!
Ow, that's gonna hurt.
Looking for me!
That's gonna hurt just a lot. What I was saying about the flamers a minute ago.
Serve the ogres! When do we eat? Bring us meat! Overwhelm them! The more calls!
They're working double team on me right now, and Nurgle is slow, so this is not a good situation for me to be in at the moment.
Ogres! Let's go, boys!
Get out here and delay these troops for as long as we can.
Dead! Yeah!
Let's keep pushing back here towards these flame units.
Relentless hunger! Stop her! Me!
Try and get into those
Bring us meat!
units. Trying to get back here and blob up some of these squishy Slanesh units, get as much damage done as I can. Struggling with leadership. Not surprised. It is a weakness of ogre units, as they tend to struggle with leadership. Those flamers are a real mess right now. I cannot get my Stonehorn to pull through either. So we're gonna die if I can't get my Stonehorn through the line.
When do we eat? Here we go!
Just gonna come over here and grab some of these flamers.
Voice of the Moor! Me!
We can't let the flamers do their thing.
Take it all! Find a meal!
I've gotten a lot of their fast movers dealt with. I've got my chaff units coming back in.
Me! Slaughter the Moor!
These guys up. I should have healed my Stonehorn a minute ago.
Me! Hungry! Who can eat butcher?
Come on, give me my magic. Really? There's nothing in the magic reserve right now?
The good man!
Or in the pool? Gosh dang it. Look at this beautiful blob, and I got nothing. Magic pool. Freaking tragedy. These flamers are beyond annoying right now. There's just... I can deal with a couple at a time, but I can't deal with all of them. And they just keep doing absolutely gruesome damage to me. Give me some magic, man.
Voice of the Moor! Where's the meat?
There we go.
For it!
A little bit of damage done at least. Yeah, I'm over-teamed right now. I'm getting crap kicked out of me.
Let's go!
And I got my Stonehorns killed. Wow, I feel like I am just totally throwing in every game I'm playing in.
Yeah!
I got double teamed through. Yikes. Not been a great start for Heir.
Wait, ogre mates!
I don't know whether Nurgle can tank all this out.
Crushers!
Alright, so...
Looking for me! Nugget! When do we
Alright,
eat?
let's...
Tribe on the move! Find a meal!
see if I can do a better job of helping my
Hungry!
teammate with what few units I have left.
Overwhelm them! Right! Rampage this way! Thundering forth! Off we go! Follow the Moor's call! Guts out,
How did they pull
boys.
through? Those guys don't have the mass. That's weird. That Hellstrider just pulled straight on through. Right through my infantry unit.
Helps a try.
Would have expected them to have the mass to accomplish that.
For me. Reckon so. Tribe on the move. Carve the meat. Crushers. Off we go. Tribe needs it.
So clean that up a little real quick. Well, we just need to not give up so we can stay on top of it here.
Me. When supper. Munch 'em.
Look at those flamers. They were faster. They just backed up and opened fire.
If I gotta.
Basically killed my unit. And then they've got their... Yeah, we were not even going to get through their barrier, so... That's not good. Fortunately for me, though, the flamers have used most of their ammunition on me, and are now nearly dead. So there's that going for me. At least I've absorbed most of their ammunition, like Zap Brannigan style here.
Here we go. Hungry. Biggest in the
Trying to cut down those spawn.
Ogres.
Well, these Doom Knights have just been wreaking havoc all over the battlefield the entire game. Fortunately for me, this Exalted Great Unclean one is also being a big pain in the butt to kill.
If I gotta.
The Herald of Slanesh here I'd love to take out of the fight. I don't know if that's going to happen. I got more units that came back from routing. Let's go assist.
Leg it.
Oh man, freaking Flamers came back. Those guys are going to have like triple chevrons or something because I let them just eat my stone horns alive. Right, yep, we got the Slaneshi leader.
Looking for me.
The balance of power is actually turning. I think my teammate's gonna possibly save this one for me.
Sure thing.
My units are all chain routing though, so that's not good. I did have, you know, a few units left to help, and they're all starting the chain route from army losses though, so unfortunately it may end up turning against the Nurgle, whereas there for a moment it looked like it may turn back for us. It's gonna depend on how the Nurgle units can hold together, and they're pretty tough, and they heal a lot. Nurgle's not known for dying quickly or easily.
Crunch their skulls.
But my units won't even hold.
Crushers.
Yeah, my leadership's gonna fall apart here instantly.
Leg
Yep.
it.
Well, at least we got a little bit of damage done before they routed. Alright, all my units are toast. It's up to Pappy Nurgle. Does have a few Plague Bearers to help do some tanking. Soul Grinder is going to be a tough unit. That Beast of Nurgle is going to be doing decent damage. Oh, no. Oh, that's going to hurt. He's such a big target. Look at that. Holy crap. That was like 700 or 800 hit points that came off of there. Yeesh. Flamers are almost out of ammo, thank goodness, because they do flaming damage, which is going to really be bad against anything that's healing. But if they don't have enough ammo, I'm not sure that Tzeentch has the wherewithal to win this in a melee. Hyros has some of the better melee stats. Out of what's left, at least. That was a nice breath attack there. Yeah, those Flamers are out of ammunition. These Doom Knights are a tough unit for sure. They're gonna go for the Soul Grinder, maybe? They're gonna hit hard on the charge. They don't really have any armor piercing. Soul Grinder does do AP damage. It's gonna cut through that barrier pretty quickly. The Nurgle leader is getting torn apart pretty good. It's being continually targeted by Tzeentch. It's a pretty nice play, but then you still got this cultist and the beast. Power bar is still looking good for Tzeentch at the moment, but let's kind of see how this plays out. Oh, I got a unit back over here. Hey, what? My unit's back, but my UI is gone. I have other units back? Yeah, what the heck? My UI disappeared, like that I was finished, and I had units back. CA, please. That Soul Grinder is definitely doing some damage. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get him through the Knights of Immolation. But this fight over here could wrap up, and then, yeah, it looks like Kairos is going to come over here and try and throw in against the Soul Grinder. That's probably the right call.
Bring us speed! Scalper!
Wish I would have known my units were sitting back there. Should have looked.
Succumb to the pestilence.
Unfortunately, that Soul Grinder is probably going to get knocked out before it can get reinforcements. And one of my units routed on the way over here.
The more cold!
Let's come throw down here. If we can keep those Doom Knights from getting any cycle charges, that'll help us. The Soul Grinder got bested there, and it's now crumbling, which is really unfortunate. Oh my gosh, that did not help us one single bit. Doom Knights, though, are getting pretty thrashed. I don't know if Kairos can carry this. The Cultist is still back there, though, so Kairos doesn't have to force land, and it depends on if anything's in his magic pool as well. Ooh, the leadership, though, getting low. The Beasts of Nurgle, even with the Cultist around, I would have thought the Cultist would have an Encourage aura. Looks like it does. But the loss of leadership, of course, is going to be taking a toll on the Nurgle forces. Those Doom Knights, I keep thinking they're going to be gone, and then they just keep hanging in. The Knights of Immolation have taken a pretty savage beating. If he's got more magic, then this game is over. Like, if he gets another one of those blue fires or whatever it is, the missile spell, yeah, it's over. Yep. It's over. Tzeentch just keeps pulling magic back in, and that spell is extremely effective against large. See, I was out of magic in like the first 2 seconds of the match. Tzeentch is still here using it at the very end, but that's what Tzeentch does. Tzeentch has ridiculous magic. That was a pretty epic finish, though. My teammate there with Nurgle almost pulled it back.
Our weakness betrays Slanesh.
Kairos with the mad winds, yeah, he gets a lot of magic, but he needs it, right? I mean, that's the strength of Kairos. He's got to pull down some wicked magic, or else it's just not worth it. That was a pretty close one there. That was a nice battle. I feel like I threw that. Like, if I would have played even a little bit better, we could have won. So, like, when I saw the double teams coming straight at me, instead of letting it happen, you fall back. So that was a really stupid move on my part, and I'm not sure why I did that. When you see the double team coming, just fall back. That's all you gotta do. I think about the only unit I did any good with was my Crushers with great weapons. Ended up getting some pretty solid value out of them, and I think everything else was pretty much throwaway crap for me because of the way I played there. One of my Stonehorns got a little bit of value in, but not enough to even pay for itself, and then the other one just got wrecked by Flamers. The Flamers that World Beater brought did extremely well. Flamers are a high-risk, high-reward unit. And see this one right here, 2230. I mean, that is some massive payback. I would have thought to see even higher numbers on all of these, but some of them must have gotten tied down. But even still, it's not too bad. This one over here, okay, yeah, so 2 of them ended up getting a ton of damage done. Kairos also did a lot of damage. Knights of Immolation did pretty darn well. So even though the rest of Tzeentch's units didn't do a whole lot, they did what they needed to, which against Nurgle is to just do some damage from range. And the double team is the way to play there. And again, all I needed to do to stop the double teaming was just fall back and let Nurgle help me absorb some of that attack, and then we would have probably been fine. But see, I let the enemy kill my units for too little damage in return. So, got to get my mindset back into this stuff. That would have been something that I should have thought of and knew, but didn't play it that way. But good game to Netoid. And World Beater, well played. And then thanks to my teammate for nearly bailing me out there. Did a good job. Let's take a look at his units here. He had a nice work on that Soul Grinder. Pretty good value out of that Cultist to Nurgle, honestly, too. East to Nurgle. Some Nurglings, and looks like his Pox units there. Plague Toads, sorry. The Plague Toads got beat up pretty bad. Some pretty solid value there, though, out of that Plague Bear. Anyway, thanks to everybody who played tonight. It was a fun stream. I enjoyed it, and appreciate you all dropping by. I will be making some content this weekend. I'm a little behind on, like, recorded campaign series because I've been trying to cover the news. And then, of course, just during the work week, I'm going to be very busy. But I do have a long weekend coming up. I'm off Monday. So I'm going to try and get some recording done on some of the series that I had going. I'll continue the news videos. And, of course, we'll be streaming again next week, too. So Tuesday, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I'm going to check with Pilgrim and see whether we can continue some of that Something Rotten and Kislev campaign. If not, we'll find something else to do. And then we'll play some more battles on Thursday, and I have to get my head straight, see if I can play a little better. But I appreciate you all playing the battles with me and having fun and creating an environment where I can get some time to come back in. And this is my only time to play multiplayer battles, so I appreciate you all helping me with it whenever you come and letting me get to play some. But anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you all next time, and hope you enjoyed it.